We got news from Buckingham Palace, and we're just hearing that Prince Harry and his fiancée Meghan Markle are to wed at St George's Chapel in Windsor, and the wedding will be in May. That is all the information we're hearing at the moment, but royal correspondents have been in a briefing at Buckingham Palace, and also hearing Meghan Markle intends to become a British citizen. That's the latest there. They'll carry out their first official engagement together in Nottingham this coming Friday. So they'll get their first taste, really, of what it'll be like to be together as members of the royal family on official business. They're carrying out their first official engagement together in Nottingham on Friday. So it'll be in May, it'll be at St George's Chapel in Windsor, and we're also hearing that Meghan Markle intends to become a British citizen. Bits of information coming out from various sources now, but all we know is in May. We're not getting a specific date. Let's get some reaction to that, because with me now, Dickie Arbiter, former Assistant Press Secretary to the Queen. And, well, St George's Chapel, is that a huge surprise?
Not a surprise at all. I've been saying that for months.
Right.
As and when they decided to get married, it would be St George's Chapel. It makes the most sense. Harry is fifth in line. Now it's going to be in May. By the time he does get married, he'll be sixth in line. And it would be wrong to sort of use Westminster Abbey with everything that is associated with it. Not just the Abbey, but the security operation that would have to be mounted, very costly. St George's Chapel, Windsor, within the precinct, is contained.
So we're just hearing it's a very special place for Prince Harry and Meghan. They both spent time there, according to Buckingham Palace. Palace says that Meghan Markle is a Protestant. She'll be baptised into the Church of England and confirmed in the coming months. And
Harry was baptised there in December 1984.
So some symmetry there. All we're hearing at the moment is in May. Do you think we'll get a firm date?
We will get a firm date, but I think what they're looking at are sort of set pieces that happen in May. I think they want to be 100% sure that the third Cambridge baby has come along. We're told it's the end of April. It could be the beginning of May. So I think they're hedging their bets a little bit. They might. I reckon we're looking around about the middle of May to be on the safe side, so that the Duchess has given birth to the third baby. She's fit and well to be able to attend the wedding with Prince George and Princess Charlotte, who will no doubt be a page boy and bridesmaid.
Yeah, quite interesting. Just looking at this, Kensington Palace have put out this statement. They call her Prince Harry. Now, officially, he's Prince Henry, isn't he? But
well, he is Prince Henry of Wales, but everybody calls him Harry, and Harry calls himself Harry. So
Harry it is.
And we all like to call him Harry. Yes.
Do we?
I mean, look, everybody calls the Duchess of Cambridge Kate Middleton. She ceased to be Kate Middleton in April 2011, but she's still Kate Middleton. I wonder if by the time she becomes Queen, they'll still call her Kate Middleton. I wish they wouldn't.
Well, now, we just saw there in that statement, the Queen's given permission for this. What does that tell you, Dickie, about the sort of wedding we're going to be seeing? Will this be a smaller wedding than perhaps some people had envisaged, because it's not as big, presumably, as the Abbey or St Paul's?
St George's Chapel, you can squeeze between 800 and 1,000 people in there. I mean, when I say squeeze, you're really squeezing them in, and the chairs are very close together. But there'll be a lot of people chomping at the bit wanting invitation to that wedding. The castle is also very well self-contained. It's good for catering. The staff would have been down there doing the Chogham, the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. They would have cleared all that up. That's out the way. Easter's out the way. Windsor Court is out the way. So it makes sense to have it down there, because they've got all the facilities to be able to accommodate a lot of people for a reception.
And security not so much of a problem here, because it's within the confines of the castle.
It's within the confines of the castle. The only time that security will be a little bit of a problem, and because, again, Windsor is small, it's self-contained, no doubt Harry and Meghan will be going on a carriage drive or even a walkabout down the High Street towards the Cambridge Gate, which is at the top of the Long Walk, and then hop in a carriage, if they're not in a carriage already, go through the George III Gate and up through into the castle. So it's all security-wise very easy to contain.
OK, now I'm looking at tweets from Johnny Diamond, one of our royal correspondents from radio. He says that the royal wedding will reflect the character of the bride and groom. According to the palace, Harry and Meghan want to involve members of the public in the wedding, working on how to make that happen. and the royal family will pay for core aspects of the royal wedding. The issue of who pays for this is always comes up.
It always comes up. The Queen paid for Prince Edward's wedding. That was at St George's Chapel in 1999. The royal family paid for Peter Phillips's wedding in 2008. So it's not a big issue. The Queen will be paying, or Prince Charles will be paying, or both of them will be paying for the wedding contained within the castle. It's not a big deal, really.
As fifth in line, and by May he'll be sixth in line to this.
He probably will be by May.
Yeah. So, do heads of state expect to be invited?
No.
Where does the list go?
No, heads of state don't expect to be invited. Look, we go back to 2011 when William was presented with a guest list and he tore it up and he said, no, we're going to invite people that we want. Now, obviously, St George's Chapel is a lot smaller. They're restricted to the numbers of people they can invite. Talking about public being invited, I reckon Harry is going to major very much on servicemen who've been injured in combat, servicemen, servicewomen who've been injured in combat. He's got a great affinity with them, as we've seen in September in the Invictus Games.
Yeah.
So I reckon a lot of them will be there, and people from his charity, and people from the charities that Meghan has been involved in. So that is your sort of general public.
Were you struck that they were very, very chatty when it came to the Commonwealth? Do you think this is going to be something that they're both going to get rather closely involved with?
I believe they will become closely involved. Harry is already closely involved. He's a frequent visitor to Lesotho, where he's patron with Prince Sisiko of Lesotho, of Sentabali. He goes to Botswana a lot. He loves Botswana. He and Meghan had a period of camping in Botswana shortly after they married, and I reckon probably Botswana or a game reserve in South Africa will be high on their agenda for a honeymoon. So the Commonwealth is very close to Harry, and having come straight, the wedding coming straight after the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, I'd be surprised if a few of the heads of government of where the Queen is head of state, the realm states, won't stay on for that wedding, having received an invitation.
Quite interesting to see that she intends to take UK citizenship. She will work towards it in coming years, according to a statement, and will retain US citizenship in the meantime. Does that have to happen?
It's better that it does happen, because if you know from a protocol point of view that when a foreigner is given a British honour, they're not allowed to use, for example, if they get an honorary knighthood, they're not allowed to use the handle Sir. It is just an honorary knighthood.
Would that follow for HRH as well?
It probably, indirectly it would. I mean, HRH is in the gift of the Queen, and the laws are made in her name. So she would dish out HRH automatically because Meghan is marrying an HRH. It would be better that Meghan becomes a British citizen. I'm actually surprised the amount of time that she spent in Canada filming, that she didn't actually become a Canadian citizen. That would have solved the problem altogether. It's not actually a problem, but it would have been a lot easier.
So we know May, we know St George's Chapel, Windsor, we know that they want members of the public involved. We know clearly that this is Harry and Meghan making a decision for themselves.
They're making a decision for themselves. They're going to make the guest list for themselves. They're not going to have a lot of celebrities there. There are only two celebrities there. That's the bride and groom. Then we get lower down the tier. Well, not quite lower down the tier, but then the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, the grandparents, who are very close to Harry, and Harry feels very close to them. They're celebrities as well. And quite frankly, this is not a celebrity wedding. It's a royal wedding.
Yeah, but think of the bridesmaids, Dickie. This is going to be Charlotte's first appearance. She'll be 3. This is her big moment.
But Charlotte is a royal. So there you go. Yes, Meghan will have some friends within the entertainment industry that she'll want to invite. But I don't think it's going to be packed with celebrities. I don't think that we're going to be standing outside saying, oh, wow, look, there's so-and-so and there's so-and-so. Yes, we're going to point out the bride, we're going to point out the groom, other members of the royal family, and that's how it should be.
OK, Dickie, thank you very much. Let's go to Buckingham Palace, because Daniela Relf can join us now. And Daniela, bring us up to date. Lots of people tuning in as they hear there's more news on this wedding.
Yes, Simon, I've just come out of the briefing here at Buckingham Palace, which was led by Prince Harry's team, supported by members of staff from Clarence House and Buckingham Palace here, talking through the details and what's planned so far. So the headlines, as you've already touched on, but the wedding will be in May. It will be in St George's Chapel in Windsor. The Queen, they say, they are very grateful to the Queen, rather, for allowing them to use St George's Chapel for their wedding. The reason they have chosen that location, because it is very special to Prince Harry, has been special to him throughout his childhood, and during his relationship with Meghan Markle, it has apparently become a special place for them too. Going to Windsor, having some private time there, and that is why they've chosen St George's Chapel for the location for their wedding.